We've been indoctrined. I sometimes like it when all my videos could stay into one frame. 26 minutes makes it so it opens into another one. So now we're discussing indoctrination. We've been indoctrinated into this caste system, into this whole levels of peasantry up to that 1%er. So yeah, this conversation now gets to go for the 1%, and I'm in the very last 0.1% of finishing this house. And Jim was just telling me about how he said that you used 3 months worth of this, but you didn't do as much as with this, but I did. I mean, we busted butt. And because he's an old timer who likes to do everything himself, I just stepped my foot back. And I was working on those accords that he was telling me to do. I was doing more, less of this and more of this. But we still live in a society that would prefer this over this. You got to be able to use both. And actions speak louder than words. So what I would like to do, and what my request is to the church, hopefully they're listening, is I would like a home for foster kids who are coming out of that jail right up the street from you. Now, this isn't a direct request for the whole world. This is just from my internal. This is my personal. This is what I would like to do for my lady that was denied by your church on a sober home for women of addiction coming out of captivity. See, my job is to tackle recidivism. That is my job. My job, God-given job here on earth, is to tackle the recidivism and to educate those in a more moral mindset. Here on earth, turning skeptics into believers, and blasphemers into givers. Because the best way to do so is, it doesn't go to me. I just want to hold the accounts because somebody messed up and isn't trusted with money. And I'd rather just burn it all. So I don't think you want to trust me with it. But I got people you can, good banks, who are willing to come out of the woodwork and be the accountants that they belong to be. So that we can go ahead and allocate where that money goes. Now, I had a great conversation with the DTA earlier. Oh, it was such a good conversation. We started getting into this conversation about fostering kids and what it is in that caste structure, that graph, setup, where if my income goes up, but the more kids I take, it stays in a plane. It's good. But if my income goes down, I don't take any, or I have no income, I'm already up here. I'm thankful. That's good. Because they'll give me the maximum, because I'm down. Doesn't mean I'm out. It's because I'm using my brain, and I did. I took this time in my life to go ahead and, while I'm structuring, I asked for the government assistance. It was a big pride hit for me, because I've always wanted to do things on my own. Now I can get out there and I can bang nails and do all that, but that takes away from the time of me thinking and planning and working with the others in the structures of everything that needs to be done. That's why I'm having my Lucifer moments, because I'm pissed off because I don't have my freedom. I don't have any freedom. We have to structure, no matter what. God made it so he shut everything down and we have to stay in and shelter in place. But economy made it so that the economy didn't shut down. So there's two sides to every story. So yeah, even though everybody got to relax, collect a stimulus check, go to the beach, spend time, teach their kids, do all the right things, they decided to go ahead and make it so that no matter what, they want their money. And you're all been pawns, because they're going to come back to you with the taxes. I'm in a gray area. I didn't make enough money to even have to file taxes in the past 2 years. No. I think if they want to come after me for 10 grand of what I've made in 2 years, $10,000 roughly, that's probably what I made personally. And you know what? I don't. It wasn't even mine to make. I borrowed it from my landlord. So that debt I have is God's debt. I borrowed it from the one man that's been there with me from the beginning and is there with me now at the end. And today he said maybe for a little bit we should part ways. I was like, are we parting the waters right now? Are we doing? Because he basically did this. And I'm like, let my people go. It's so good. Don't make me get my Moses stick. It's because I'm looking at the church, because God brought me here because at one point in time the church stole money. And it wasn't that long ago. And that same building that my bride wants in Salem, in Jerusalem, New Jerusalem, a beautiful sanctuary campus, honestly. Calvary bought a church down the street, same street, a couple doors down. Now the devil you know is the devil you want to keep close to you, right? I told Pastor Tim I was going to put $1 million in his box, and he didn't. He said, I hope to. I could see his purity. But Pastor Vinny behind me said, you're right. He didn't believe in me. Pastor Tim believed in me. And I know I could turn that facility right there in Salem. I'd like the church to buy it from the state so that I can run it. Or I could find the right people. Nehemiah. Put the right people in place to run it. That's where my mind is at, is delegation. And learning about people and their structures. Maybe a little bit more for me too. To do some actions. Because I do have actions. I got no problem putting my hands in to help. I proved it earlier by helping Nate bring some stuff in. While I'm doing it, I can drop what I'm doing to help people. I can multitask pretty well. I just can't dedicate myself to one item a day. God made it so I have 1,000,000 hats. And I'm sorry. And here we are, 33 minutes, 44 seconds. In 15 seconds, I get to reveal to you the realities of Jesus coming to life at the age of 34. I rolled my tomb away. I'm done. I got my upper room for the time being. And I'm ready to come from the vines and go out to the fertile soil. And I'm not asking for it. God didn't ask for it. No, it's the goodness of your heart to do the right thing, recognizing that God is here on earth, 34 years strong. I love you all. Be safe, and if you couldn't understand half of the things Makopi was saying, we can talk about it. Message me. And I'm praying for you. And would you like me to leave it out? I'll leave you out in a prayer. Heavenly Father, I pray that you bridge the gaps in my sermons, and that when I switch subjects frequently, that they can stay along. And I pray that you can give them that attention, that level of attention, the attention span that's been lost over time due to electronics and technology. I pray that you can slow their hearts and slow their wrath and slow their anger when they hear the omission from my voice. Release and remove their strife and envy, their jealousy, their corruption, their greed, all the sins that are out there of the world. Remove them from their demons. Remove their demons from their body. You sent me as a demon slayer, Son of Man who sees through all sins. This is beyond spirituality, people. This is now in the reality of life. And I see and understand the omniscience. You gave me ears to hear and eyes to see. When I close my eyes and I block out the world and I tune out everything that's around there, and I can sit there and speak with you firmly with this foundation below my feet. I fear no evil. I walk in the shadow of the Almighty. I live within His pinions. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. I am the Creator. God has made me on His wheel of potter. Your divine King within this land, here in New Jerusalem, here in our beloved town of Boston, Massachusetts, where a man centuries ago stood on a rock and decided to steal from the natives. That same day is also my birthday. Just so happens that birthday is the birthday of a lot of people because it is a result of an evening of lust on a day of a new year. creating, being the creator within the creator. I see God in everybody. I do. I see the goodness of him. I see the goodness of Jesus within people, and I also see the Lucifer of everybody. Thankfully, Lucifer wants to do right by good. And I always do right by God. I am your fireman, a man on fire. And I have a place in the seat. So we got to make sure that farm, church, somewhere in Middleton or Topsfield, I actually think of a good one in Linfield that has my name right on it. Right down the street from you. So we can have a community garden. It was nice of you to invite Whole Foods into your development. For richer gain, right? We got homeless people on the streets, and you want to pay for their socks and shoes, which is nice. But they need suits. They need education to be able to go out to those job interviews. They need motivation. I get it. We throw Jesus down people's throats. But there is a reality on the other side of life that's so far detrimental. People are dying every single day to war, to natural disaster. And there is relief out there. I witness it, I see it. I've actually been researching a lot more. I'd love to be able to put my hands into all these cookie pots and the ways of operations. I want to get out there and be a face that when I'm at their house, I'm at that door, they know they're being saved and they feel comfortable. Because not only that, I love talking with people and trying to give them that level of everything's going to be okay. I'm here with you. The emergency's over. We're going to take care of this with you. And, even after the fact, we're going to stick it out with you a little bit longer until you're fully firm. So your feet are both planted. Never going to let you step out the boat and fall into the water if you don't know how to swim. What kind of asshole would I be? Now, I want to make sure you know the foundation, the fundamentals of how to swim before we jump in the water together. That's when we walk on water. Because it's just like riding a bicycle. If you did it once before, you get up and you do it again. Father, thank you for these beautiful moments and these messages, and thank you for bridging the gap in understanding for me. To give these words back to them. It's been a tough transition. I felt like from the beginning I was just a trickle. And I was bouncing around to a million subjects, but you have planted me on that firm foundation within the vines, and here I am pulling thorns from every side of my body. And I have a meeting with my attorney tonight to clear everything out within 5 weeks. My name should be cleared within 5 weeks, that there is no standard anymore for the state and the government to hold me to their own accounts. They will never admit to their wrongdoings. I'm not asking them to. I just think that there should be value and morals restored when it comes to the judgments from Him and not man. Discern within yourself, Your Honor. Discern within yourself. Make the right decision. Diplomatic immunity. That just randomly came out of nowhere. I don't even know what that means. Like they give me the benefit of the doubt to do whatever the hell I want. Is that right, Father? Is that what that means? I ain't no politician. I'm just a man here on earth. And the living testament of you. And it's a beautiful thing to be the one that they're calling out of the limelight. And it's the worship music. And she's the first to listen to it. She's upset that I stole her joy. God's here. They didn't think it could be me. And half of them already know it is me. We've just been keeping it under wraps. Thank you. Amen.